Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with day 20 of Follow a Sketch February, a hop started by Sandie, which is Scrapping Reflections on Facebook, where you can find all of these sketches, one for every day of the month. And you can also find her here on YouTube at Steakgoddess, and she is here every day and has been, I think, for the last 4 years, which is really awesome. So I am documenting a picture of my grandmother with my son, and I am using all three of my Obed Marshall collections. I have combined them all together because luckily they work pretty well together for the most part. I have all three, Buenos Dias, Especial, and Fantastico, probably everything that was ever made to go with them. And I still have quite a bit left, even though I have been working with this stuff for a long time. I love it. That's why I bought it all. But I realize I don't scrap as much with pastels as I used to. So that's part of it. So anyway, I am going to use some papers. I've got some scraps pulled out, and I bought this like 3 years ago, or at least 2.5 years ago. I am finally going to use my acetate piece from the Buenos Dias collection. I love it so much. It's so pretty. So I have my papers that I've already selected, lots and lots of embellishments, this really fabulous picture, and my sketch. So let's see how this goes. So these are the papers that I am working with. I was determined to use that acetate piece because I just keep putting it aside going, no, I'll find something bad to do with it. And this I felt like was a really good layout because there's a lot of space for that acetate piece to shine. And so I'm using this pink squared off paper that's in the background that's got the little random yellow, pink, red, and orange squares. And then that acetate piece just kind of shows really well, and it's not a really heavy pattern paper, that little squared paper. So I'm going to use that acetate piece as the inside light teal color. And then I use this really pretty feathered paper on the side, and then this floral paper over here for the circle and the strip at the bottom. So I felt like that was enough pattern, so I pulled in white to mat my the front paper. And then I'm just going to mostly use the same patterns. I don't want to bring in a bunch more pattern that's, overwhelming. So I am putting my acetate piece down with some ATG so that it has that instant hold. And then I also put some Nouveau Deluxe adhesive back there that will hold like the acetate and all that kind of stuff. I use that with mixed media and everything. So, and then because it's going on the acetate, I want to make sure and put a little Nouveau Deluxe on all my paper as well that's going down. So I'm going to use this feathered paper over here, and I cut it a little shorter, I think, than the sketch. Well, maybe not. I really just want to make sure that there is bits and pieces of that acetate peeking out everywhere. So anywhere that is getting covered with paper, I am going to use the Nouveau and kind of just go under the acetate and glue it more, because I know it's going to hold in the middle, but I don't want the top to kind of lean out. So anywhere I can put the glue underneath, I'm going to do that. So I first put down my white paper. It's like 8 by 9 or something like that, and I inked the sides and everything, but it's too big. It's taking up too much space, and it's not showing as much of the acetate as I would like. So I trim it down. I think it ends up being like 7 1/4 by 8 or something in that ballpark. And then I measure to see how big it is so that I can trim down this scrap paper of that same paper that's on the very back. And I'm going to use that to be my front, where I'm going to pretty much do all of my building. It's going to be coming off of that area. So my picture's going to go down here towards the bottom, and then I'm going to build clusters in and around that area. So I took this chipboard picture frame, and I love that. I love putting journaling or making shaker pockets. And I really wanted to put journaling on here so that I could make a little note about what was going on this day. So I went ahead and put a journaling card from the collection in that bottom corner, and then I'm going to build a cluster above it and next to it. So I start on the top with like this film strip, old school film strip, an old school alarm clock, and then I'm going to put like a camera and some other things over there, and then I'm going to put like an old school TV to the right of that journaling chipboard thing, because we're at my grandmother's. At this point, it was 2014, so she would have been 89. And she had a not not old school TV, but kind of. But you know, obviously in my day she had an old school like boob tube. And then I also am going to use up in the top right corner of the picture, I'm going to make another cluster, and I'm going to use an old school corded phone. And it's almost identical to the one she had, except hers was off-white and not pink. And I just wanted to put those on there because this is the perfect layout. They were having a conversation about the old days, and the TV she used to have was 10 inches, like back when my dad was born in the 40s. And that they were, you know, they felt like they had money because they had a 10-inch TV and things like that. And she's telling my 5-year-old these things, and he is just like, what? You know, like, this is crazy, a 10-inch TV. And he's like holding his hands up like, what? That's like a little nothing. That's like an iPad. So, it was really funny. And then she's showing him pictures of like her grandfather and my grandfather, like when they were little. And one of them was like in a christening outfit, and it was like a dress. And so of course he thought it was crazy that his great grandfather was in like a little white dress. And you know, so they were having just this really fabulous conversation. It was so sweet and so fun, and they have such a special connection, the two of them. My grandmother was really close with all of us, but she and I were, well, very, very close. We talked every night. And so documenting pictures of her brings me so much joy, but you know, it's also hard, makes me cry a little bit. And I've had to do this voiceover twice. And so that's kind of hard because I've already gone over like the story and talking about it. So, but anyway, so that is why this little gold strip in Spanish says my favorite place. And when my son was 5, which is actually around the time that this picture was taken, he had to do one of those, informational cards for his preschool, and one of the questions was, what's your favorite place? And he wrote it was his grandma's house, and that was just really cool. And of course I took a picture of it and showed it to her. He loved going over there. She had all the fun things, and she was the best cook and would make his favorite ever spaghetti ever. And so he loved going over there. So she was really thrilled with the fact that he enjoyed being there, because he was 5 years old and she was almost 90. So, but anyway, I have put lots and lots of wordy bits on here. I did put a title in the bottom right corner that says you were special in Spanish. I inked around it so it would pop out. And I love the way that this turned out. I did use my Creative Memory circle punch to make those 3 little sunshine circles that are reflected in the sketch, and it matches that little tag that I put underneath the memory, so it's bringing all of that stuff together. And that is it. I love this. I hope that you all have enjoyed this video. I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me. Please go check out all the other people who are hopping along with Follow a Sketch February this month, and I hope you have a great day. Hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love, and happy scrapping.